Well, the first lawsuit in the US has been filed against AstraZeneca for its COVID vaccine. Brianne Drezen, a Utah teacher, wife, and mother, participated in the clinical trial in 2020, after which she suffered serious adverse side effects. So, about 50 people in the UK have also filed a lawsuit against the pharmaceutical giant, but Brianne Drezen is the first person to do so in the United States and the only that we know of at this point. Brianne, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
Okay, let's first of all, why are you the first and the only to be able to file a lawsuit against AstraZeneca? Many people have been vaccine injured, I would assume, by AstraZeneca's vaccine. Why is it that you're even able to sue them? Since, from what we've understood, all these pharmaceutical giants were given immunity, and everybody who's injured is just SOL.
Yeah, that's really the sad thing about this, right? Is there should be thousands of lawsuits at this point in the United States, but the United States government has this lovely little law. It's called the PrEP Act, and the PrEP Act provides blanket immunity to the drug companies, provides immunity to the doctor that puts the shot in your arm, the medical providers that see you after you have an adverse event. But it also provides a really robust immunity for health officials and federal elected officials and anyone that's acting within government during an emergency.
Wow.
So they're all protected, even to the level of willful misconduct. So the level of protection is something I don't think people understand just how much power that puts into the hands of the government and powerful drug companies,
Yeah,
for
because
example.
I thought that the immunity was only for the pharmaceutical company, but you're saying that these other people were baked into that immunity because I've wondered why can't we go after the government and sue the government? Like those of you that are injured, why can't you go after the people that actually mandated the vaccine if you can't go after the pharmaceutical company? But you're saying they're baked in too?
Yeah, they are. And so there's a few lawsuits that are trying to challenge the PrEP Act in several ways. The most recent one was a case in New York. And so the New York Supreme Court has actually allowed a lawsuit to move forward that's talking about ivermectin and the therapies for ivermectin and some other adverse events to drugs like remdesivir. And they're saying, well, actually, the PrEP Act does not provide the type of protection that they're saying that it does. And so we're hoping that we can get more and more lawsuits filed on a federal landscape that will start challenging the PrEP Act in these specific ways. There's two lawsuits that have also been filed by Aaron, Siri, and ICANN in close partnership with us at React 19 that both are going after the PrEP Act in the specific cases of COVID vaccine injuries. And so essentially what we're claiming in the state of Louisiana and in the state of Texas is that when you're injured by a COVID vaccine, the safety net that they've provided through the CICP program, which has a 98% rejection rate, an average payout of $3,700, and it's paid out 12 people total to date. That program is not an adequate backup for our right to sue and our right to jury trial being removed. So we're essentially saying our constitutional rights should be restored because this backup program is a complete joke and it is not adequate. So hopefully between those two lawsuits we'll be able to open up a pathway for all vaccine injured Americans, COVID vaccine injured Americans, to be able to seek restitution through more reasonable means.
Yeah, I mean, it's a total crime what they've done.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a complete crime to say we're going to force you into this medication, but we're going to give everybody immunity who's forcing you into this and those who are manufacturing it for profit. I mean, this is the big. I'm glad somebody's finally challenging the constitutionality of that. It just seems like that would be so against our fundamental. I mean, the whole COVID-19, the whole pandemic was so eye-opening on what the government
Yeah,
here we are thinking we're a free people, especially here in the United States, thinking that we live in
right,
this great country where we have freedoms and then we find out, oh, you mean we don't? So you could just pass a law, and as long as it's a law, we lose our freedoms. And there's no because that's what they've done with this immunity, right? We've lost our
right.
freedom now. And you're mandating these vaccines. That's the one thing I've hated about all the lawsuits that have been going to courts. I'm so glad that the lawsuits are going. I'm so glad that there's been some wins, but a lot of the wins, like in regards to like healthcare workers or something suing
Mhm.
and then they get reinstated or something. The win isn't because the judge says, "Oh yeah, it was totally against your constitutional right as a human being to not be injected with something you don't want," right? They don't rule on that. They're ruling on, well, it was because they didn't make everybody do it. And so it
Right.
opens up the pathway for the next time there's a pandemic. And then they say, well, if we want to mandate this, we have to make sure we mandate it on everybody. Otherwise, it'll be challenged in court. But it doesn't actually challenge the fact that they mandated it at all. I mean, that's what I think many of us, that's a big frustration with these lawsuits, is that we want some accountability and we want some protection as humans, as Americans that are supposed to have these rights, and we're not getting them.
100%. I mean, the fact that our rights as Americans, like you said, our rights have been transferred to a drug company or several drug companies. There's something seriously wrong there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and the fact that this was put in place before the pandemic even started, and now that we're 4 years into this and still the lawmakers on the Hill have not even touched it
Yeah.
to try to right that imbalance, that right there leads to far bigger questions and concerns about what's going on.
So you're able to sue because you were part of a clinical trial and not everybody else who took the vaccine. So you signed up to take it. First, what
Yeah.
made you want to do that? What
it's
made you want to
it's
do that?
kind of interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
people are like, "What? Why?" Right? So my why was really just because I wanted to help all of us get out of the pandemic. I had never had any issue with any previous vaccine, and so it just kind of seemed like second nature to be able to step up and do my part to
Okay.
help out society. So super simple motive. There was no ulterior. Like I hope I can sue these guys 3 years from
Right.
now.
Right. Of course
There was
not.
nothing. Yeah, it was just really just step
So
up, do what my country asked of me, and be part of the solution.
okay, so kind of walk us through your mentality at that point. What time, so this was in 2020. Was this early on in 2020, or what month was this that you signed up for the clinical trial?
November. So November 4th, 2020 is when I got my shot.
Okay.
My conversations with the drug company started, I believe, in end of September or October.
Okay.
And
So when the
yeah.
pandemic hit, we started kind of hearing it February, then March, then April, it
Mhm,
really started to hit here in the United States. It started locking people down.
mhm.
Um, when that so during the summer that led up to you signing up for the clinical trial, were you in the mindset of yeah, we all need to be in lockdown, we all need to be wearing masks, we all need to be, when this vaccine comes out, we all have to take the vaccine?
I've always been one of those people. I worry about myself and my family. Um, I was never one of the people out there screaming and yelling at people, but I was the mask wearer person. And I definitely was looking forward to the vaccines getting out and getting us all over this.
Yeah.
I, when the mandates rolled out and everything else, that I was so sick I couldn't even follow what was going on. But my own personal leanings is if the product actually worked, they wouldn't have needed mandates.
Right. Thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson show, which you could catch just by heading to that link down below, KimIversonShow.com. You can watch the full show from what you just watched, or you could catch the full show live Monday through Friday, live streams, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. See you then. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Never miss an episode. Never miss a clip. Never miss a segment. Thanks, guys.